Geometry Dash has been insane recently, with the recent verification of one of the most popular extremes in the game, and a brand new possible top 1, this community seems to be growing and growing with no seeming end. But that's just the surface level, because with 2.2 on the horizon, the future of Geometry Dash is going to expand so much further. August 2023. The Geometry Dash community explodes. There's an update queued for the game. Is it a minor bug fix 2.2? Over the course of the next week, millions re-download the game. YouTubers scrambled to make low-effort Rush 2.2 content, and hundreds of thousands of levels are uploaded to the servers every single day. The community finally gets access to long-awaited new features like the swing copter, hundreds of new icons and colors, and so much more. But little do we know the effect this update will have on Geometry Dash. Starting with the levels themselves, 2.2 will definitely have a massive effect on the quality of levels. If we already have levels like these in update 2.1, an update that is over 5 years old, what will the community create when we get an editor that is tenfold in scale? We already have some evidence of what we will see, because this is platformer mode, an entirely new way to play Geometry Dash. First revealed on the Robtop Games YouTube channel on the 23rd of February 2019, and ever since, the community has had really mixed reactions due to a lack of information. Will these levels have a different rating system? Will there be extreme demon platformer levels? Aside from that, from recreations of entirely different games to puzzle maps to whatever the f*** this is, people have made some crazy things using platformer mode. But how? 2.2 isn't even out yet. Well, this is the 2.2 GDPS, a private server made by people like Italian APK Downloader. It's not even close to the full version of 2.2, and it only gives you a few key features. So when the actual 2.2 update drops, I feel as we're going to see a ton more projects like whatever Kulak touches ever, or this thing that AP team posted on Twitter. Like, what the f***? This is some doom shit in Geometry Dash. Don't even get me started on the levels in the GD Awards. I made a whole video just praising Limbo. Look at this level, is this even Geometry Dash anymore? And this is all in update 2.1, without features like literal keyframing. But there's a negative side to this, because of course, the recent tab exists. Aside from the low effort, awful content made out of these levels, the recent tab is the bottom of the barrel. Surprisingly, not every new level is some epic worthy masterpiece, and the main suspect of worsening the soon to be recent tab is the camera controls. It will probably leak into the featured tab as well, and even Extreme Demons, which is gonna make so many levels just unplayable without a ton of pre-practice. I'm scared it's going to be really gimmicky and get old really fast. We've already seen this from the recent sneak peek. We've already seen the lack of indicators and direction that's in this level. Even levels like Limbo have visual indicators, the hardest memory demon in the game. It's either a part of the gameplay or a part of the deco, and there's nothing put in place. It's all down to the creator, and that isn't a good thing. It's kind of like the random trigger controversy, where people were scared creators would put a 1 in 100 chance war at the end of like top 1 Extreme Demons. But at the same time, these camera effects will be pushed to their absolute maximum in a great way. There are no editing effects on any of those levels, they are all just pure 2.2 private servers. We are going to push the limits of the feature updates to areas that we never thought were even possible, for good or for bad. We already have. Geometry Dash is going to seem like an entirely new game, but it kinda makes you wonder, what will happen to the demon list? 2.2's effect on Extreme Demons will be unmatched, especially new features like the swing copter and again camera controls. It kind of makes you question if these levels with these types of effects will rank above levels without them purely because of them. Take Super Properly level as an example of this. The level requires a decent amount of learning, but since most top players take how long the level took to beat into account when saying how difficult it is, the level has stayed in the same place for years. Maybe there will be a new wave of top ones, ranking above levels like Acheron, Slaughterhouse and Kiyuki, purely because of an abusive use of camera controls. But stop, because will levels like Acheron and Slaughterhouse even be possible in 2.2? 27th of April, 2022. RobTop posts more 2.2 news in the Geometry Discord server. Could it be a release date or information on the next sneak peek? 60 FPS should still feel like 60 FPS, and 240 should still feel like 240. They will just act the same in physics. This means that the game will be capped at 240 FPS physics, making levels like the third variant, making levels like Acheron so much harder. Out of every record on the top 5 in the demon list, every single one uses 300 FPS or higher, meaning that every single top 5 record would be completely invalidated. Right? Surprisingly, no, as levels released before 2.2 will still have 360 FPS physics. None of this is fully confirmed information, but it's just speculation among the community. Aside from 2.2 though, where will this game be far in the future? December 2025, 2.3 is in development and close to release, being smaller than 2.2, hopefully. The community has adapted to 2.2's features and taken it in their stride. The demon list? Destroyed, with Acheron being out of the top 10 and Super Probability level still being in the same place. The chance of any new players rising to the top is next to nothing. Although, the game is a lot bigger now, thanks to a new wave of content creators, level makers, and top players. The current creators you're watching right now are either completely gone or tenfold the size they are currently. Levels like Whitespace are common, with people pushing the absolute limits of 2.2, and platformer levels are massive, getting nearly as many downloads as normal levels. What's past then? I think it's impossible to tell, but for now we can only sit and wait for what's ahead.